Hello to you once again. The position in front of us is courtesy of a fellow YouTuber who goes under the name Sleepy Sounds. He responded to one of my videos in very favourable fashion, and he thought that I might be interested in trying to solve this. Well, like I told him, I did manage to solve it in probably what is a very quick time, 15 minutes overall. I did very well on this. I'm getting faster, like I admitted to him, and I was very pleased indeed with the result. This is a white to play and win, but what I can tell you is what I told him, and I put it in vague terms so that I wouldn't spoil finding the solution for anybody who happened to notice his comment. But now I think it's the right moment to do a video on this, so that's exactly what I'm doing, and many thanks to this gentleman for coming up with this one. I don't know who originated it, but it's a good problem, and it's a real brain teaser. What I said to him is that the key move is the one that looks like it doesn't work, and white must avoid stalemate at his 9th and 14th turns. And finally, it is a checkmate in a maximum of 19 moves. So I'm giving you a few clues there already. The premise for white really is he would like to be able to get his knight into a position where he can whip one or both of these pawns off, then take this, and then checkmate on the back rank. Well, that is easier said than done, because as can be seen at the moment, if he were to move that knight, black's rook is free to move. So really we must do an Aron Nimzowitsch here and restrict, blockade and destroy. And it can be done, but it's not obvious. I mean, for instance, the obvious move here is this, and then he simply goes back, and then black is in stalemate in this position. So surely we can't possibly reach a useful position with the knight at that stage, and all that we can do is to play something like this, and we have a situation where we'd go back and forth. Would you agree with that? So let's put this back. But what else is there? How do you possibly restrict black's rook unless you play c6? Well, you don't, and that's how I quickly solved it. I realized that c6 looks like a mistake because you're not really giving yourself any opportunities, but you cannot restrict black's rook any other way. So you do play to here, and of course he has to play king b8. Now we reach the critical stage already. What does white do here? Tell me that. What does he do? Well, he has to release black from stalemate. Now, if he moves the knight, it's stalemate. So he has to move the king. Where does he put it? If he puts it on d8, it's still stalemate. He needs this square, and I'll explain why in a moment. So king e8 is the only move. Most of black's moves in this line are forced, incidentally, like king b8 and now king c8. That's 2 down. Where does white go? Well, now he brings the knight into operation. But of course, the white knight has 2 moves. It can either go to g6 or f7. Which is it? And I've given you a clue as to why the king needed to move to e8 and not e7. Well, congrats to you if you found this. It is here. And now, this is very neat indeed, because surely black's rook is getting away down here, is he? Not really. Checkmate. So what white is saying to black here is, you're going to have to go back, mate. You cannot stay where you are. You can't play that rook to b8. So he's forced to go back to b8. That's on the 3rd move. So where does white go now? This is critical as well. He wants to get to here. Now if he played knight to e7 here, he'd be putting black in stalemate. So by implication he must go to f4. And black must go back to c8. Now why does he want to go to d5? Well, he wants to go to d5 for the same reason as he went to g6. Now, should the rook go here, it's mate on e7 again. He's forcing him back. Do you see how the knight is working his way around? This is a genius problem, and congratulations to whoever devised it. That's after 5 moves. Now where does white go? Well, he goes here. Like I say, he's after this pawn. So black's move. What's forced? Here we go again, king c8. Black's not making any progress, but my word, white is. His knight is traversed the board, hasn't it? Now then, what do we do here? Well, we take the pawn. Knight a6. That is white's 7th move. Now, black cannot move the king anymore. Now, it looks as though his rook is getting away. Is it? Well, no, it isn't, of course, because we just whip it off. Now, what happens here? Well, let's just keep that position in mind here. What happens if he takes the knight off? This is the point. That's king b8. Well, we play here. You see what's happening? He plays for time. We play to here. Yeah? What now? Well, he has to play here or here, and then we take the pawn and we win the game. And that explains why he cannot afford to take that knight. And that's the position after white's 8th move, knight takes b8. If he takes it, white wins the c-pawn. So we've achieved our objective. So how does black extend this game here? Well, he only has one other move, and he plays here, a6, and that deserves an exclamation mark if ever there were one. Now, what does white play here? Well, if you're too quick, this is why you should sit on your hands in chess. If you're too quick and you play here, stalemate. That's at white's 9th turn. And that's what I was saying at the beginning. And there's another one coming up at white's 14th move. So you don't take that pawn. No, you force black to take your knight. And then you transpose into the variation that I mentioned just a moment ago. But it's still not totally in the clear. So what does white do here? He plays king e7. He has to play here to keep control over this. So now black is forced to take the knight. Now, what does white play here for his 10th move? Well, he plays to here, king d8. He could play king d7 there. Now, black has a choice between these two. It doesn't really make any difference which way he plays it. Let's just go for a7. He has to move away from that pawn. King a8. So now, white wins the pawn. We've already achieved our objective and we're winning this game. But there's still a hitch. So don't get too cocky, white. King a7. White to make his 12th move. What does he do? Well, he goes to here. Comes to here. c7 check. What does black do? He plays to here. Now, most people, of course, would rush in here and promote to a queen on the 14th move. And if you did that, just take a look at it. What do you have? Yes, you have stalemate, don't you? So you can't afford to do that. You promote to a rook. You under-promote. That's at the 14th. So you've avoided 2 stalemates. So, where does he go? Well, he's forced to go here. He can't go anywhere else. King b7. So now we play rook c7 check. We're driving him to the back rank, you notice. So he goes to b8. What do we do now? We play king d7. Where does he go? He has to go here. And then we go to c6. Can you see what's coming? That's right, king b8. And in 2 moves, and that's the first of them, where does he go? He goes here. And like I said to Sleepy Sounds, we execute checkmate on c8. And there it is, and that's the 19th move. That is a magnificent problem. Thanks very much again to my YouTube follower, and I hope everyone out there enjoyed it as much as I did in receiving it, solving it, and now presenting it, and goodbye to you.